university, I also learned to perform Arabic music, particularly by playing in the Middle East ensemble there. So I wrote my master's thesis on the adoption of the cello, my own instrument, in Arabic music. And now for my dissertation, I've expanded the scope of my research to include the adoption of all new musical instruments in Arabic music ensembles in Egypt since the 19th century. I should mention at the outset that when I use this term Arabic music, I'm not talking about all songs with Arabic lyrics or all music from Arab-majority countries. I'm talking about a specific term, al-musiqa al-arabiyya, that refers to a category of urban secular music that's characterized by the use of maqam, which is musical modes, rhythmic patterns, vocal and instrumental forms, and specific ornamentation styles. And this here I'm quoting the ethnomusicologist Salwa Shawan. So this term, al-musiqa al-arabiyya, Arabic music, became popular in the 1920s and 30s, and it's now used to describe music from the turas, or the heritage, as well as now the music of Abdul Wahab, Kulthum, Abdul Halim, and others from the 20th century. So to complete this personal history, now I'm in the midst of my doctoral research and beginning to write my dissertation. So the research that I'm presenting today is really a work in progress. But one of the things I love about Arabic music is the spontaneous, creative, and collaborative nature of performance. In a way, Arabic music lives a new life each time it's performed. So drawing on these aesthetics, I like to think of my research as living a new life, sort of, every time I write and present it. It's always in progress, and it's always a creative and collaborative process. And actually, there are so many people in the room today who have been part of this collaborative process with me. You know who you are, and I thank you a lot. And I hope the rest of you also will be part of this process in your reactions, comments, questions, etc. Okay. So, let me present some of my foundational research questions. So the first is how and why did the instrumentation of Arabic music ensembles in Egypt change, moving from the small taht, which I'll talk about, to a large firqa? What were the central debates around adopting new instruments? And also, how were they adapted to better suit this music? Additionally, what were the debates about the affective qualities of new instruments? The third question has to do with socio-cultural context, so issues like nationalism, modernity, cosmopolitanism, and also affect, emotion. And then finally, I'm interested in the outcomes, like, what has happened because of the adoption of these new instruments? What has changed? To address these questions, I'm using a mixed methods approach, which includes archival research, such as the popular press, audiovisual recordings, and primary sources, like in books, for example. I'm also using participant observation, which is a term taken from anthropology. And it generally means partaking in the music culture that you're studying. So, for example, I frequently play with one of the ensembles at the Cairo Opera House, the ensemble for traditional Arabic music. And I learn a lot from playing as well as from informal conversations with musicians and others in the music scene. We're going to hear this song performed tonight, actually. This Omar Khayyam theme. Okay. And then finally, I've done a lot of library research. One thing that I found really helpful, which I did not expect prior to starting my research, is the theses and dissertations that exist at the Arabic Music Conservatory and at Helwan University. It's really like a treasure trove of research that people have already done, and my work really builds on this foundation. Okay, so I'm going to start broad with some of my overarching arguments. And I tried to put a few of these ideas in Arabic. I hope it's somewhat understandable, but I'm going to talk through this